Okay, hello and welcome. I was driving home just now. Had to run out to the video store, and in my car I have a 6 CD changer, which is good because I don't get much radio out here where I live in Japan, and even if I did pick up stations, I think I can get like 2 out here in the rural part of where I am. They'd of course be entirely Japanese music or Japanese talk. One of them's Japanese like talk radio, which doesn't do me a whole lot of good. So I make myself mixes off of iTunes, and obviously I brought CDs with me to Japan. And I like to listen to music in the car. I do a lot of driving, as you guys know, and so I'm not ashamed to say that I like to sing along. And it occurred to me as I was driving home that I don't have a very good voice, despite the fame and adulation I've gotten in the karaoke circuit here in Japan. No, that's a joke. So my question of the day is, to not beat around the bush anymore, if you could sing like someone, who would it be? Whose voice would you like to have? Maybe it's your own. Maybe you sing well. So I was thinking about this. First of all, I said, okay, well, for me, if I'm going to make this choice, there's got to be a few rules. Sure, who wouldn't want to be able to sing like, Pavarotti, or, I don't know, even somebody like Josh Groban, that kind of, operatic, amazing range type of voice. But that's not really, my wheelhouse. I mean, that's not the kind of music I listen to a lot, to be honest. I think opera is amazing, but I don't listen to it very often. I also ruled out women because I'm a guy, and I just figured, as amazing as, Aretha Franklin or Tori Amos or, anybody that I love is, I'm going to sound like a guy if I'm going to sound like someone. So that cuts out a whole bunch of people. Then, I think the first thing I would leap to is probably some of the singer-songwriters I love. I've always kind of had this thing where I think it would be cool, like, to be able to walk into a party and there's a guitar there and you can just pick up a guitar and start to play and sing a song, and do well at both, playing the guitar and singing. So I am actually in awe of some YouTubers that I watch, where they can just sit down and pick up the guitar and just start to play. I wish I had that kind of talent. So people like Damien Rice, an amazing, amazing artist from Ireland. Cat Stevens, of course. People like James Taylor, Van Morrison. God, I'm probably getting really old on you people. These type of people, I wish I could sit down at the piano and play the piano and sing, Elton John, Billy Joel, Joe Jackson, all these people. There are artists that I admire greatly, but let's face it, they don't have the greatest singing voice when it comes right down to it. Bob Dylan is a genius, an American genius, but he doesn't have the greatest voice. I happen to like it. I also happen to really love Randy Newman, but I know a lot of people, his voice just rubs them the wrong way. Even on down the line, I mean, somebody like Mick Jagger or Bruce Springsteen or somebody dynamic and amazing like that, it's still not necessarily their voice. Ray Davies of the Kinks or Elvis Costello or Robert Smith of the Cure. I mean, these are all people I love, but if you think about their voice, it's something more than that. It's their presence, it's their lyrics, it's this, it's that. So who would I like to sound like? An American voice that I would like to sound like, and this is excluding people like Bill Withers and Smokey Robinson and Stevie Wonder and people, who just have amazing voices in, and again, yet another genre. For me, I would want to have like a rock and roll voice, and I really like a band called the Kenny Wayne Shepherd Band, and some of you have probably heard it. He's a blues artist, But for his first few albums, he didn't do his own singing. There was another person who did the singing, and his name is Noah Hunt. And many of you have probably heard the song. Here, let me play a little bit of Blue on Black. This is probably his most famous track. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Anyway, God, I hope that doesn't get this video not on YouTube. So he's got just this classic, you know, great rock and roll voice. You know, there are people that do. The lead singer for Social Distortion is another voice. I mean, it's very deep and gravelly, but there's just great rock and roll voices. And I'm not talking about somebody like the lead singer of AC/DC or even Robert Plant, you know, who kind of have that falsetto thing going on. It's like so hard to sing like them if you've ever done it at karaoke. So Noah Hunt from the Kenny Wayne Shepherd Project, or the Kenny Wayne Shepherd Band, I would like to have that kind of a voice. And to be honest, somebody else who I really like, you know, I like theatrical rock, I like Meatloaf, I like Neil Diamond. Yeah, I don't know if I would want, you know, but a voice I love, and this is going back again to my youth, is Steve Perry from Journey. You know, I just think he and, you know, with that band, he just had the perfect voice for their songs. And so, yeah, somebody that could really belt it out also. Of course, I mean, you know, you could say somebody like, oh God, I'm going to forget his name for a second here. The guy who sang Hallelujah. Come on, people, help me out here. Let me check real quick. Why am I forgetting his name? G-H, Hallelujah. Jeff Buckley, thank you. You know, Jeff Buckley, a sublime, sublime voice. But, you know, obviously he's not still making music. He passed away, so it's hard to really compare. Then if we're going to go across the pond to somebody that I would want to be able to sound like, there's a number of British and UK, Irish singers that I admire. Of course, you all know probably already that I love Van Morrison. Just amazing, amazing artist, and would love to be able to sound like him. But after thinking about it and thinking about, you know, obviously, you know, Paul McCartney and, you know, Peter Gabriel and some of these people, I think the person who just has an amazing, amazing voice and just can sing so many different types of music. And I'm not, you know, I'm not begrudging, you know, somebody like Sting or, you know, who you know, I'm a huge, huge Police fan, you know, and all the more modern people like, you know, Radiohead. Why am I forgetting his name? God, I'm just doing bad tonight. You know, Liam from Oasis. I mean, sometimes they're married to their band in such a way that it's just a perfect coupling. But the person who I'd really want to sound like, if I could sing like anybody, would be David Bowie. I'm a huge David Bowie fan. Have been for quite a while. And he's aged really well. You know, if any of you are a fan of a TV show that Ricky Gervais did called Extras, and you saw him on that show, he's just amazing. Every now and then he'll do like a stateside appearance on like Conan O'Brien or something, and Conan is a huge Bowie fan too. And you know, he'll ask him to sit down with his guitar and just sing something. And you know, recently Michael Jackson passed away, and I should do a whole nother vlog about that. But, you know, Michael had an amazing and very unique voice, but it's not a voice that I can sing like, you know, when I go to karaoke or anything. And not that I can sound like Bowie, but my God, just the range. I mean, you think of something like Life on Mars or Rebel Rebel, or, you know, and then, you know, you switch to something like Ziggy Stardust or Changes. I mean, just the whole range. It's just, if I could sound like anybody, and certainly if I could be as talented as anybody, it would be David Bowie. Okay, so that was a long-winded way of getting around to the question, you know, who would you like to sound like? If you could sing like someone, who would that person be? Leave a video response. I don't get a lot of those, but, you know, hey, now's your chance. And, of course, feel free to leave a comment. Okay? Peace, guys. See ya.